Hi, welcome back. Today we are going to continue discussing about public international law, and the topic we are going to discuss today is that the relation between Hugo Gratius and public international law. So the term international law was first coined by Jeremy Bentham in 1780. But early in the 17th century, Gratius, that is Hugo Gratius, formulated the basic principles of international law. Hugo Gratius was born in Holland in 1513. He is considered to be the father of modern law of nations. In 1609, his first work, Mare Liberum, was published. In this book, he strongly argued for freedom of the seas. Therefore, he went to Paris and lived there for 10 years. In 1625, he published his most famous work, De Jure Belli et Pacis, that is, on the law of war and peace. This work earned for him permanent fame and reputation. Oppenheim has pointed out the science of modern law of nations commences from Gratius' work, and thus he is known as the father of law of nations. And in his book, De Jure Belli et Pacis, he formulated the following principles that is also the basis of public international law in the present day. The first one, states should be subject to some rules which regulate the individuals. The second, he formulated the law of peace. Third, a state must not interfere with the affairs of another state. 4. He tried to establish a qualified neutrality principle. 5. An international treaty must be held binding. So much of the credit for secularizing the concept of natural law goes to Hugo Gratius. He expounded the secularized concept of the law of nature. Thus, Hugo Gratius formulated some basic international principles, and these principles are considered even today as the fundamental principles of international law. Gratius can be considered as a person who supplied a legal basis for international law. So that is the importance and role of Hugo Gratius in public international law. So though the term international law was coined by Jeremy Bentham in 1780s, Hugo Gratius in his book in 1625, that is De Jure Belli et Pacis, that is the law of war and peace. In this book, he formulated the basic principles that became the basis of international law, and that's why Hugo Gratius is known as the father of the law of nations and also the father of international law. So thank you for listening, and that is all with this session. That is the role of Hugo Gratius and public international law. I hope it helps, and see you again in the next session. Bye.